On the night of August 20th, 1989, a tragedy struck in Beverly Hills when José and Mary Louise Menendez were murdered in their home. At first glance, the Menendez family seemed like the picture of success, but beneath the surface lay dark secrets and unresolved issues. In a shocking twist, their sons, Lyle and Erik Menendez, were found to be the killers. The question everyone wanted to know was, why would they do something so horrific? Were they escaping an abusive household, or was there something else at play? José Menendez was a Cuban immigrant who came to the United States as a teenager after the Cuban Revolution. He faced hardships, but eventually carved out a successful career in the entertainment industry, working for major companies like Hertz and RCA Records. He was known for his aggressive management style and was involved in signing popular bands like Duran Duran and Menudo. Mary Louise, known as Kitty, was a beauty queen who married José in the early 1960s. Together, they seemed to achieve the American dream. They lived in an affluent neighborhood, raised 2 sons, and appeared to have everything. However, the reality was much more complicated. Lyle, the older brother, was a talented tennis player who seemed destined for greatness, while Erik, the younger brother, was even more gifted but struggled under the weight of his father's expectations. José was known to be an overbearing father, pushing his sons relentlessly in sports and academics, which created a strained dynamic within the family. Erik, in particular, began to act out, getting involved in petty crimes and attending therapy sessions to cope with the pressure. In 1988, Erik was caught up in a string of burglaries but managed to avoid jail time. This rebellious phase only fueled the tension in the household, leading to a breakdown in communication between the family members. Meanwhile, Lyle faced his own challenges, including academic issues that culminated in a suspension from Princeton University for plagiarism. The evening of August 20, 1989, was supposed to be just another night in the Menendez household. Lyle and Erik claimed they had gone out to the movies, but upon returning home, they found their parents brutally shot in the den. They called 911, claiming they had discovered the scene of a gruesome crime. When police arrived, they found José and Kitty dead from multiple gunshot wounds, shotgun blasts that left their bodies nearly unrecognizable. The brutality of the crime led investigators to initially suspect organized crime involvement or a business rivalry gone wrong. However, as the investigation unfolded, the focus soon shifted to the Menendez brothers themselves. The brothers, instead of mourning their parents, they spent lavishly, quickly draining the family's wealth. Within 6 months, they had spent over $700,000 of José's fortune, purchasing luxury items, cars, and taking extravagant vacations. Their carefree lifestyle struck many as inappropriate for 2 young men who had just lost their parents in such a violent manner. José had a substantial life insurance policy, and some speculated that the brothers might have killed their parents to access that money. However, the insurance payout became complicated due to legal technicalities, which prevented them from collecting. With mounting evidence against them, Lyle and Erik were arrested in 1990. Their trials captivated the nation, fueled by extensive media coverage and the dramatic nature of the case. The prosecution presented a case of cold-blooded murder motivated by greed, while the defense painted a different picture, one of abuse and psychological trauma. During the trials, both brothers claimed they had endured years of physical and sexual abuse at the hands of their father. This claim was met with skepticism, especially given the brothers' initial reaction to the murders. As the trial progressed, the jury faced an agonizing decision, ultimately resulting in a mistrial after weeks of deliberations due to a deadlock. The case would return to court for a second trial, where the prosecution sought to undermine the defense's claims and reframe the narrative surrounding the murders. In October 1995, the retrial began, this time with a single jury. The prosecution challenged the validity of the abuse claims, dismissing them as the abuse excuse, with a renewed focus on the brutality of the crime. They aimed to strip away any sympathy the brothers had garnered in the first trial. Finally, after days of deliberation, the jury found Lyle and Erik Menendez guilty of first-degree murder. Their sentences came swiftly: life in prison without the possibility of parole. The case, which had gripped the nation, seemed to draw to a close, but not for long. Almost 3 decades later, in 2023, new evidence emerged that reignited the discussion surrounding the case. Erik Menendez's attorney, Cliff Gardner, filed a habeas petition asserting that the brothers had been telling the truth about their abuse all along. This claim brought forth new witnesses and previously unseen evidence, including letters and affidavits that painted a more complex picture of the Menendez family's dark history. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing for more content. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.